2021, an event organized by Anita B, and is currently an LFX mentee at Open Horizon.
And our next speaker is Kapil Bansal. He is a final year CSE student and a GSOC 21 student at OpenWisp. He is a volunteer at Anita B organization as an OS leader and is an advocate at open source development. Now, without any further delay, I would request our speakers to please start with the session.
So, hello everyone, and I'm very glad I would be giving my first talk to all of you. So, thank you for inviting me, and let's start with the session. So, let me know if my screen is visible to all of you. Okay. I hope it is visible.
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. So, firstly, I will be telling you what is LFX mentorship. So, I would be copy pasting this link in the chat box itself. So, if you want to see what is what is LFX mentorship, you could go through it after the session itself. Uh, so, so, talking about LFX mentorship is a program by Linux Foundation, which is basically to promote open source within the students and how to involve oneself in open source. So what you get out of it, basically the programs run basically in three cohorts. One is the fall, one is summer, and one is spring. So the spring cohort has been completed, the summer cohort has been completed, and the fall program that is running nowadays, it is running nowadays. So what you get out of it, talking about this, you get around stipend around $2,000 from Linux Foundation. You get a chance to network with great people. You get a chance to also work on various open source projects of different organizations and different companies. So talking about my organization, it is Open Horizon. It is an IBM sponsored project. So IBM in itself is a big company, to be very honest. And to work with great culture is my dream come true, to be very honest. I would be also talking about various selection tips to get selected in further cohorts right away. After I will tell you about different projects you could take in as into the concentration. So let's start. So basic criteria of selection may be you have to be, I guess, you have to be under the age of, I guess, 18 plus, and you have to be an open source enthusiast. Like you should have a prior knowledge of Git and GitHub, but that is not necessary, to be very honest. Anyone can take part in these types of programs. So this is a basic. You could say the website of LFX. You could just go through it after the session itself if you want to see like how it is being done. And when you will create a community profile here, you have to create a community profile with LFX Linux Foundation. And when you will go here, you can see learn about mentorships. So when you will go here, you have to apply as mentor or browse mentorships. Um, so the like here you could see the top organization supporters that are being supported us, and they are sponsoring various projects in LFX mentorship. So these are the, you could say, the projects, and whatever suits you, whatever tech stacks you are working on, you could just apply here However, the applications are being closed. So I would suggest you all to apply for the next cohort that will be around January. The next cohort would be started in January. So now what made me apply to this program? So firstly, I was contributing to open source way back around you could say around 1 year, from 1 year. And I have been loving the community. I have been like into the community for 1 year, and I can say surely say the community is very welcoming. All the communities are very welcoming. So I would also suggest you all that if you are looking for any open source program right now, so LFX is the one which is very far approaching to all of you. Like this could be a kickstart in your open source journey, and so basically what I did was like the applications of all cohorts started around, I guess, in August. So, like, I explored the project. I went to this, you could say the website, and I explored the project. Whatever tech stack suited to me, like I applied to different, um, you could say, the projects. I could show you here that, where I applied and how I applied to the same. Let me log in once. So, here you could see the My Mentorships tab under my profile. So I applied to these many, um, you could say, projects. So at once you could apply to the 3 projects. I applied to around 4 projects, but I was not knowing about the procedure. Like once I got into it, like so someone told me that you could apply for only 3 projects. So I withdrawn one of my application from Riskwe. I was selected for Open Horizon along with me. Um, One is Anushri, who is also accepted as one of the LFX mentee. So here you could see the tech stacks that are being included in it. Like you could see Go, Bash, Jekyll, Markdown. So I was already familiar with Markdown, YAML, Git, and Travis. So that made me apply to the program. Like, and here you could see the mentors who are being there for guiding us. So they are very helpful, and once we will hop onto their you could say website. So here you could see here in the bottom you could see the join chat option. You could just click here and join the Slack community of there, and there the means the people are very welcoming, and they will guide you how to apply and when to apply for the same. So as I said, I started exploring the project I guess a way month ago, and I basically the project was huge, and to cope up with the tech stacks and to cope up with the code base, that was the main challenge, I could say, for me in the starting. But um, my mentors helped me, like they guided me throughout, and they helped me in any of the process till now. And like they are the specialists from IBM, and they are very welcoming. So I would give you one tip. So always start early. Always think that even if you do not know any tech stacks, you could just drop hop into the organization channel, and you could just speak up to the mentors that I am facing this issue. Please let me know the things that I could do and to improve myself, and they will surely help you. Like one of the key factor I would say in my selection was I started early. I contacted with the mentors very early, and I was very excited for the project. So that made me apply to this mentorship, you could say, and I got into it. So the day I got into it, like I was on the cloud nine that I got. Okay, so that is the biggest achievement in my open source journey, you could say, and I would suggest you to um, explore this project and to start early. That is the main thing that I could advise you right now. Also, like I could drop onto the like I could tell you about what is GSOC and how to apply for the same. So GSOC is Google Summer of Code. Again, this is a program which runs in the summer, and this is a 10-week program. 10 weeks program where the students apply to various organizations and they take part in various of projects. So like it also promotes open source and many big organizations, many big companies do take part in this too. Like this is a great program, and to get involved in this, that is a dream come true for many of the people, many of the open source enthusiasts all around the globe. So this is a one option you could take into the concentration while applying for any of the open source you could say program. I could just copy paste this link to in the chat box for a reference. So various organizations take part, as you could um, see from here. Here all the categories are being mentioned. You could just drop onto some of the tech stacks or some of the domains that you are interested in. You could just click on this web. You will be able to see some of the organizations um, taking part in basically in this domain and GSOC. And when you will drop onto, you will be able to see um, here learn and see more project. You here you have to click on the view idea list. Once you view the idea list, you will be able to see what is the project, how like what is the work I would be doing during this time, during this GSOC tenure, and you will be able to see the Slack, the communication channel too, like here in the drop down. So also like while applying to any of the organization or open source organization to open source programs, I would highly suggest you to talk to the graduated mentees or whoever has done GSOC or LFX or Outreachy before to take some guidance and probably talk to them that this is the this is the issue I'm facing and I wanted basically they would be more experienced than you as they have already experienced the one thing in their life and they have got into it and how they got into it they already know. So that is the one thing. Always take guidance and always feel free to like join the communication channel that you be interested in any of the organization. All the organizations I would say has the you could say the communication channel and their GitHub profiles and their GitHub README itself. So you could just scroll down a bit in the README and here I could see show you one example of that if you want to see. So um, when I talk about public lab, say public lab is the one who takes part in GSOC every year, GSOC outreach. So basically, when you will go hop onto this, you could say, okay. So I guess I should type all GitHub. Okay. Wait a moment. So like when you will be able to search it from here, you will be able to see the repository. Here you could see the repository. I could just open it. Here's the organizations, and this is the various, you could say, the projects running under a public lab. So when you will go here or here, so when you will go to their website, you would be able to see that there are some of the various readme and various projects that are being running. Various first primary issues you could take part, such as this. You could see the active reference label here. So you could take part in this, and probably in the bottom down you could see various communication channel itself. So this is a tribute to all the contributors, you could see. So here it is also mentioned that various languages and various textiles that public lab uses. So means the people are very welcoming, and they have being welcoming all the new contributors all around the globe. And when you will drop onto their communication channel, you will be able to experience that, um, like and that is the one thing that you could say open source communities does, they help everyone. So yeah, so talking about, let us go to the outreachy page of like what is outreach and what it does. So outreach is a diversity initiative by, you could say, for promoting open source and promoting underrepresented groups. So it also um, gives us the around a stipend of 6,000 USD dollars, which is huge. And this is a remote internship, you could say. It runs between May to August and December to March. So now, um, like for Indians, mostly May to August is preferred because they have their summer holidays going on there and they are not busy. Of course, for December to March, um, the people around the people outside India, or the southern hemisphere of the globe, is preferred because and during that time they are free. And right now we are busy with our college, and we are busy with our stuffs. So I would suggest you all to bookmark this website for the future reference if you want. So in all in not all for LFX, I could say that resume and your cover letter is being taken into consideration while applying for the same, while you apply for the LFX mentorship. Talking about GSOC, your proposal under like you could say how much you are involved in the community is being taken into consideration. For outreaching, you have to fill an application where 3 to 4, I guess 3 to 4 questions are being asked to you that why you want to apply. Like these are very simple questions, and you have to tell about your story, why you wanted to apply for outreach internship. So also when you're selected for outreach internship, basically there is a gap of 1 month between the actual starting of the internship, and before that you have to contribute to any of the repository of your choice that is taking part in outreachy. And you have to merge a PR within that 1 month. So that is the main, you could say, eligibility criteria for outreachy. So as mentioned that these were the all the open source, you could say, programs for right now for the people. You could just go through them. And also if you want, if the time allows, could I also take MLH if the time is there, could I just include some other um, big programs too, like?
I think we can talk about it later.
Yeah, because time is very less and we have to do the hands-on too. Um, so, Kapil Bhaiya, I would like to hand over from now on to you.
Hi everyone, am I audible?
Yes, please, your audio.
Please stop sharing your screen. So, as we all know that Hacktoberfest is already been started. First of all, I want to thank the whole Lenin community and Unnati for inviting me in this session. I will try to explain about Hacktoberfest and open source in some detail. First of all, what is Hacktoberfest? Hacktoberfest is a 1 month open source celebration, or you can say a program by DigitalOcean to promote open source. To take part in Hacktoberfest, what you have to do is search Hacktoberfest 2021, go on the first link, start hacking. Now you will need either a GitHub account or GitLab account. I hope you all will have one account, but if not, you can create an account too. For those who want to create an account, they can follow me from here. Click on sign up. Enter one mail. Enter a password. Enter a username. Would you like to receive products? Yes. You have to verify. Seven two 4221. 724221. How many team members? Select just me, student here. Continue. You can select any or one two options from here, as this is only for survey purpose. Go with continue for free. And our account has been created now. Now, for using GitHub, we should know about Git too. Basically, what is Git? Git is a version control or source control software that helps us to manage code and contribute with others. Like for example, let us suppose this is our main code. Here is one maintainer that is maintaining this code, maintainer or team of maintainers. Now there will be contributors worldwide. Around the globe. What they can do is they can create their own copy of this code. Make changes there and ask the maintainer to accept the changes. This is termed as pull request. To download GitHub, to download Git, you can go to this official website and follow based on your operating system. Now I will show you how you can do a PR, because for Hacktoberfest you have to create 4 PRs. So yeah, there is a repository that is created for this. What we have to do is, first of all, click on fork. This will create a copy of this repository in our account. Then we have to create a token. Either you have to set up SSH or you have to create a token to control Git with your terminal. Let's name it temporary token. Expiration 7 days. Generate token. Yeah. As I already forked a repository in my account, I can see it in my repositories. Now I have to clone it. Cloning is basically downloading the repository locally. For this, the command is git clone. Let's open it in a terminal. Before working on a PR, it is necessary to create your own branch. There are some branch naming rules that every organization follows. Basically, branch name should be descriptive. So that maintainers can understand what you have done. Sorry, I have to cd into the repository first. Git checkout. Checkout is a command to go to a branch name or a reference, and if I use -b with it, it will create a new branch. Add name dev concern. I can see if my branch has been changed or not. On branch, add name dev Kapil Bansal. What I will do is, I will write my name here. Now there are 3 things in Git. First is working area. Second is staging area. And third is the committed code. Working area is the area where you are making changes in your code. Like I write my name here, it is in working area. You can see git status. it is showing that there are some changes in contributors.txt. What I can do is I can send it to staging area. Staging area is the area where we send our files that are ready to be committed. No changes, so I have to edit manually. This is in staging area. Now to commit it, what we have to do is git commit, write a message here. It is using you can see nothing to commit, working tree clean. So the code has been sent to committed area, the committed code. You can see it by git log. It is showing 1, 2, 3, 4 commits. I can show you the git tree too to understand it better. Yeah. You can see there are 4 commits. In this commit, there is my name, Kapil Bansal. Before it, there was a file that was blank and is deleted. Before it, there was file that is created. And before it, there is a readme file and license. So now, as we have committed our code, what we have to do is send this code to the maintainer. Like I discussed earlier, where is the 1 second? Like what we do is we fork the code, clone it locally, then we made some changes, and now what we have to do is we have to create a PR as we have made our changes. For this, what we have to do is git push -u. -u means to track this branch. Then the remote name. By default, the remote name is origin, and then our branch name. Branch name was add name then console. Kapil Bansal. Password. One second, careful. You have to do it again. We have console 1. Password is if I refresh this, I can see at F Kapil Bansal recently pushed. Recent push is less than a minute ago. Let's click on compare and pull request. I can see my changes here. If I have to write something, then I can write it here. I added my name country computers.txt file. Thanks. Then create pull request. Always ensure that you click allow edits to maintainers. Allow edits by maintainers. It helps a lot as your PR can be managed by maintainers too. Like if your PR misses some minor changes, then the maintainer too can create some commits on your PR to do those changes. I hope it is clear to all. Thanks, Unity, for writing it in chat.
No problem. So like after like he has raised a pull request, I would be merging that PR and I would be reviewing that PR for like and then I could merge it. So like now the floor is open for questions. You could just if anyone is
Yeah,
having any
as soon
questions.
as PR is merged here, you will see merged return and your changes will be reflected to the main code base.
So if
Actually, yeah,
yeah.
you were saying something.
No.
In beginning, it can be difficult to learn Git. For this, I personally recommend this website, Learn Git Branching JS. Yeah. It explains Git in much detail, and you will become not master but less than some master in Git by following these tutorials only. I am pasting this link too in the chat. Uh, till what time PR gets merged? A PR can be merged in some minutes too, or it can take months too. How can we become PR reviewers? Uh, Before becoming a reviewer, you have to become a contributor. Like, unless you understand the code base, unless you are able to guess whether the changes done in by someone is correct or not, you can't review it. Yeah. Also, if you want to get better understanding of GitHub, there is some, yeah, there is one learning path that I personally followed. I have to create an account here too. And, so, okay. Go to this link. Select GitHub from here. You can select learning path. Yeah. 1 second, I should this one. This is a very good path if you want to learn about GitHub, how it works. Basically, what happens is there is a bot that will help you create PRs and merge them on your own repository. Here you can use some UI tools too, like VS Code helps a lot, as there are some more like Git Kraken, Sublime Merge. Like this one that I showed you earlier was Sublime Merge. Yeah, GitHub Desktop also. Any doubts till now? How to select the project to send pull request, which is based on your own skill. Mm,
So actually, to
for this, I will say go
yeah.
on explore. Either search here, or there are some good websites too, if I remember, like Up for Grabs. Here are some I want to get involved here. As here you can use filters to find some issues. As Hacktoberfest is already ongoing, you can use this tag too. Go to issues. Is issue. I am testing this filter in this filter. You can use this filter to search issues that are labeled with Hacktoberfest. Search for a repository that works on your tech skills, or try to learn some new. Hacktoberfest can be your start in open source too, because if I remember correctly, I start my open source journey with OpenWisp in September, or yeah, in August too, just some time ago before Hacktoberfest. Any doubts till now? You all can try to make a PR there on the repository shared by Unnati.
Yes,
Yeah.
you could, and I would be very happy to merge it. So I guess we are done with the session, and if there are any doubts, any queries, you could just unmute or write in the chat box. I would be really happy to help you out.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dee, for such an interactive session. We have received some questions, if you could take them.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
sure.
sure.
But first of all, I remember that Unnati was talking about open source programs, and applications for MLH fellowships are open.
Yeah, application for MLH fellowships are being opened, and you could just apply for the same. I could just copy paste that link in the chat box, and it is a great program by Major League Hacking. Major League Hacking is known for hackathons, and they have some really great programs for the beginners to start their um, you could say open source journey, or something to involve with the community. So they have three programs called three tracks basically in MLS fellowship. One is the pre-fellowship, second one is the open source, and so open source, I guess. Okay. Uh, the second one is the open source, and third one is the, I guess, production and software engineering. So you could just apply for the same, and the applications are being opened right now. So I would suggest you to have a look at it, and this is a really great program um, to have a look into. And basically, for this, you have to submit a code base, and there are two essay questions. Talking about the code base, uh, you have basically you have to um, we having a we having a GitHub project that basically has you should have a great project, but talking about this great projects, you should be having a project with at least two files in the code base, uh, not one. You could say the single file of the code base is not accepted, and in MLH as they see the um, technicality of the project, and there are two interviews. One is the you could say the normal one where you have to introduce yourself, where you have to communicate with the recruiters there, the admission team there, and the second one is the technical where they will be asking for like what you have done in the project and how you have done it. So have a look at it, and I would surely encourage all of you to apply for the same. Yeah, Simran, we are open for the questions.
Yeah, thank you, Lee. So the first question that we received, it says that are there any prerequisites for starting with open source?
Yeah, I would recommend you to learn Git and GitHub first before starting with open source, because as I as a maintainer, I have seen that most of contributors come, they are good with their tech skills, but they lack experience with Git and GitHub. It makes the process painful for both contributor and maintainer. So if you learn Git and GitHub first, it would be a lot easy for you to start. And it is not like it is going to take time. Learning Git and GitHub is approximately a process of 6 to 8 hours long, depending on your concentration level.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Hiya. Then the next question is that a person is asking that if we are a beginner in web development and we only know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, so can we even contribute in the project with our this much knowledge?
Uh,
Yes, you could surely contribute. Like there are no barriers in open source. Even if you are beginner in any of the tech stack, you could just look into some of the non-code contributions. So non-code contributions include um adding some things into the documentation, helping the community people. So that could be a great start. And if you know some of the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, um, so you could look into the some good first issues in the organizations you are looking for. So that is a good way to start, I would say.
but one thing to keep in mind is you should be ready to learn new skills as you go.
Yeah, sure, thank you. Then the next question is that how to choose which repository can have some issues that can be implemented, and how do we team up the whole process for this?
So how to choose issues, is that a question that I could sense it out?
Sorry.
Like the question is the question is like how to choose issues. The person is saying, right? um
Yes, Lee.
okay. So talking about issues, you have to be very concentrate your um basically you have to if you are interested in any of the issues, you could just look into the good first issue for a start. Good first issues, like like in every organizations there are some good first issues, and if you could look into it, just start with it. And once you start with it, once you become familiar with it, you could proceed on to to the technical issues once you are familiar with the code base, once you are familiar with the project. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Lee. That was all the questions that we have received. If anyone still has any doubts, you can kindly unmute yourself or can even write in the chat box. Yeah, so I don't think we have any doubts now. So now I would request Nitidi and Kapil Bhaiya if you could switch on your videos, and if everyone else would also like to just take a commemorative photograph.
Yes, sure. I don't think my video is visible.
Yeah, it is now. So just 1 minute, I'll just switch it. If anyone else is also willing to, please switch on.
One second.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, I forget to explain that you have to configure Git to after downloading Git.
Okay, the person is asking the process after downloading it. Okay, let me explain that.
Yeah. Actually, my Git was already set up, so I don't have to do this. But what you have to do is git config global user.name git config global user.email your email address that you use with Git, and then git config global full dot repaste. You have to tell Git who you are by your name and mail address. And I run this command because in new versions of Git, it is necessary to tell how you are going to take a pull. I hope it's clear now. I am pasting this in chat too. Yeah, you already did. Thanks. Git config local user.email. After that, you can start using it. That's all.
It's wonderful. So thank you everybody for joining us for this special episode.
You are not audible, Niti.
And this is not audible, nothing.
Yeah, so I think there's a network